Greetings, everyone. We are, as usual, a few minutes before, so we will waste time while everyone connects. Hola a todos. Tenemos algunos minutos par tiempo el traductor de instalarse. Bonjour tout le monde. On donne une minute ou deux pour que les traducteurs s'installent. I love to feel a Colombian inside me. Talking about a coffee. Yeah, it's Colombian. All right. You guys are happy? We're doing this? Yeah, I can see your comments running in. Please do not hesitate to share the link with friends or whoever. You can see the translations are in this page. Las traducciones son otros videos, es la misma página de mi propia clase. Entonces no tenemos que publicar un otro link, es actualizar la página de mi clase online y hay una con Shivagam. Le lien pour la traduction français, elle est dans la page des classes. Il n'y a pas de lien publié en commentaire. Il faut seulement actualiser la page pour voir ce que Vincent est en train de traduire. Déjà sur ma page, ma classe online. Okay? So I was just explaining to the French and Spanish. Apparently, we found a way to have 3 streams at the same time on the same page with all the technologies together. So Vincent is live, and Shivagam is live, and I am live. This is wonderful. Okay. Good. Take a deep breath. And pay attention inside. I will speak today of Swasthya. Swasthya. Can the advanced students write it in the comments? Swasthya. We'll do the easiest and most basic practice of Swasthya, which is just pay attention inside. It's very easy. And as this class goes on, complications of what Swasthya implies. Again, I will make pauses between every phrase. That's for the translators to have time to follow. Okay, they ask me to speak slower with pauses, so we respect that for every people to have the wisdom. All right, we got Swasthya here. Good. So, Swasthya is to pay attention inside. Swa in Sanskrit, swa is a particle for something personal. Swa by itself is not clear. Swaha is to be genuine in what you express. So, Om Vajramanataya Swaha, okay? No, well, it would be that one. Om Vajramanataya Swaha. Swaha is to be genuine, okay? Om Namasamanta Vajranamham is a different thing. So I'm sorry I made that gesture just to not to confuse the Kuji and artists. Swaha means to be honest. Swa is something personal, and ha is just to express. So swaha is to be implicated. So when you do swaha in a spiritual ritual, you're doing a sacrifice of yourself, you're doing a prostration. So the word swaha became to chant glory to God or to do a personal sacrifice, like throwing rice in the fire during a ritual or giving up on something. So it became to prostrate, to glorify, but it comes in the origin, it comes from doing something honest for yourself. Okay, so that's swaha. If we go to swasthya, it is to be contained in yourself, to be autonomous. So me for me. It is not the same as swaha hamkar or hamkara masmi, or it doesn't mean to exist for your ego. Sorry, translators, if you hear new Sanskrit word. So swasthya is not egocentric. It's to exist based on yourself. But what does that mean? We have 1 hour to cover the intense complexities of swasthya. First, swasthya, paying attention inside and breathe. As you breathe, you are conscious. Let them figure it out. As you breathe, you're conscious. Keep doing it. Realize one thing. You are conscious of your breath because it's obvious, you know it. But you're also conscious that you are conscious. Okay? So pay attention to the fact that you're aware of your breathing, but you're also aware that you are aware. You have the ability to pay attention to your ability to pay attention. So when we speak of consciousness, we don't only speak of the object of consciousness or the thing you are conscious of. We're speaking of your consciousness of that consciousness itself. In psychiatry, this term is called metacognition, the ability to be aware that you are aware. Rats have metacognition, cows have metacognition, not elephants, not dogs, not the majority of living beings. Dolphins, of course, have metacognition. So very few living entity can be conscious of consciousness itself. This is when our soul becomes evolved enough to be able to experience purely. So those who believe in reincarnation, through lifetimes, our consciousness is limited to our nervous system, what we can perceive. Before that, it was not even a nervous system. Before that, it was stimuli, like plants following the sun. There's consciousness because something is perceived for a reaction to happen. The plant follows the sun. Okay. So metacognition is when our soul is evolved enough to do the path back into one God with all things. If you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, we'll say to fuse with the whole, whatever that means. Okay, spirituality. Any belief is compatible with that. So as you do Swasthya, I'm aware that I'm aware. You want to expand consciousness? Be conscious that you are conscious. If you do personal growth, you know that by observing your feelings, they lose power over you. By feeling your emotions, they lose power over you, and you are freed from them. If you are skilled, you can even forgive. Whatever you absorb, whatever you observe, it will be affected by your consciousness. So the first step to expand your consciousness and to increase its quality and its refinement is to observe your own consciousness. I am conscious. First, it's in the head, it's intellectual. As you practice, just thinking about it, it becomes a feeling. Try your best to feel conscious. I'm conscious that I'm conscious. Feel. It is a very simple practice. It is the most basic meditation. You can repeat the word Swasthya in your mind every few seconds, like a siddhi meditation. Swasthya. 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 You can whisper it. You can repeat it in your mind every few seconds. Okay. This is a simple meditation, and it is based on yourself. That is not egocentric. It is not narcissistic. It is to care for yourself. It is where your compassion starts with you. Okay? It's very simple. When you meditate, if your mind goes elsewhere, it's normal. Imagine you have a big bowl of water and there's wave on it. If you want to stop the waves with your hands, stop, 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 you're going to make more waves. Making an effort to stop your mind will cause more waves. The solution for waves to stop on the surface of the water is to be patient. It will settle. Be like that with your mind. If you go somewhere else, your mind is in a fantasy, it's okay. It's made to be creative, the mind. It wants to think. Be at peace, go back to Swasthya. Conscious that you are conscious. Maybe after 2 years, maybe after a decade of training, your mind will be still and only busy with one practice. Okay? Swasthya. The mudra with your hands is anything you want. Feel comfortable. You can just rest them. You can do the typical hatha yoga meditation. Yoga mudra for those who care. Just be comfortable. Spine must not be tense and erected. Relax your shoulders. So in meditation, do not seek stillness of the mind. Never seek that. Seek peace while your mind is busy with your meditation or with something else. When you realize you're floating in your dreams, in your mental constructs, you come back. Oh yeah, Swasthya, I'm conscious that I'm conscious. No fighting. Patience. Maybe for months, maybe for years. If you are emotional lately, it will be more difficult to make peace in your mind. This is completely normal. Okay? So meditation is for peace. That too is included in Swasthya. Find peace inside. Happiness might come, but happiness is not what you seek. Peace is what you seek. Forgive the turbulence. Adapt to the turbulence. Make peace. Swasthya. All right, let's have a deep breath. Good, and we relax. That's for the meditation part of Swasthya. Okay? It's very simple, very calming. There's another place where I teach, Shanti Achala Abu. We'll cover that another day, or you can find it on my YouTube, I think. Shanti, find peace while you're not at peace. Then Achala, find stillness while you're not still. And then Abu, find vacuity while you're not empty. But this is another type of meditation, which is good. It just teaches you to patiently allow it to happen. Shanti Achala Abu. Okay? For those who are curious. But in this case, Swasthya. For this practice today, Swasthya. Self-contained. At the moral level, Swasthya means responsible. Let's say I did not intentionally spread the virus or catch it. I did not create it. It happens in nature. Oh, conspiracy theorists will say it was created in a lab. Conspiracy theorists always say a lot of things. For the history of mankind, there has been virus and pandemic. It is completely natural. Okay, find peace with nature. Okay. So whatever happens, if I have it, I'm going to be responsible for what I create for myself. Okay. So instead of being angry to who gave it to me, I'm going to pay attention. What am I manifesting? To be responsible at the base is to pay your bills, eat well, do enough exercise. To be a responsible person is to care for yourself, care for others, and manage your life the best you can. That's the base of responsibility. In a deeper sense of responsibility, is to understand that we manifest our experiences. I will completely agree that a child born without legs did not choose that. The New Age hippies who say we choose everything, it's confusing for the new spiritual seeker. A child is born how he is born. Nature does funky stuff. And sometimes you're born with a medical condition. It happens. So for the human, we say that you are responsible for how you manage the event that happened. It just happened. You can dramatize, or you can find an opportunity to discover your power. You can be creative. For the human, Swasthya is that level of responsibility. I will handle responsibly every situation over which I had no power anyway. And I will also handle with power the situation I can operate or manage. So Swasthya is a responsibility. If you are out of toilet paper, because it's funny to say it, in America it's the case for half the country. If you're out of toilet paper, you can be angry because someone did something evil to cause you to have no more toilet paper. Or Swasthya. What is a creative and responsible way to manage that? Let's say you decide to wash your ass every time, or to use washable cotton. I mean, find a solution. I'm just saying, you can be emotional and react to everything that happens in your life. Or you can choose what is a responsible way to keep peace. Swasthya implies self-realization. I will accomplish myself as a spiritual being. For that to happen, I must be able to find peace, not happiness and joy. You will not find joy if you like to have apples and there's no more apples. It won't make you happy. But does it need to make you sad? It does not need to make you sad. You can just find peace in whatever you cannot accomplish, whatever you cannot obtain. Every experience that are not available to you. If they don't make you happy, they don't need to make you sad. Find peace. Mourn what you cannot obtain. Let go of experiences that are not available to you. Instead of being sad, nourishing your attachment and your disappointment, mourn, let go. So you can go back to yourself at peace. Swasthya. So we are increasing what Swasthya means step by step. Okay? First, it's just to be contained inside, being conscious. Then we go deeper into I am in charge of what I experience. And if I cannot find happiness, at least I will stay at peace. I will not be aggressed. Imagine the possibility of having a Buddha's mind where any event cannot rob you of your peace. For that, you have to ask yourself the question, what must I mourn to be at peace again? What must I mourn? What must I lose? Let's say an insult is thrown in your way and it affects you because you're not at peace. You're either aggressed or you're laughing at the other, pretending that you're not aggressed. Whatever, boy, do whatever you want. But that is also a reaction to defend because you're affected. It's not peace. Okay? So an insult comes your way. How to maintain peace? What must I mourn? Should I mourn my pride? Should I mourn my value to another? My sense of self-worth? Maybe I should mourn my image. What must I mourn? When someone is angry at you, can you humbly affirm that you are at peace? Be honest with yourself. Sometimes we are not. We are disturbed, slightly or intensely. If someone is angry at you, can you honestly say that it does not affect you? Be honest with yourself. And ask yourself, what must I mourn to be at peace again? To keep my self-contained consciousness. Let your pride go. For that requires personal growth. The breaking of pride is uncomfortable and sometimes very hurtful inside. Let's go further. Let's say a lover breaks up with you. You have a heartbreak. You will lose your sense of peace. What must I mourn to be complete? What must I lose? Lose the arguments, lose the battle. I would even say lose the money, but there has to be justice in the physical plane about money management. So be prudent with your finances. But otherwise, what must I lose to find peace again? That is part of the practice of Swasthya. Lose your lover, lose the affection, mourn the opportunities for sexual intercourse, mourn the cuddles, mourn the feeling of a presence in the same home or apartment. That's examples I'm giving. What must I mourn to be complete again, to be at peace, to be in communion with myself and the universe? What must I lose to go back to the Buddha state of mind? That will require a lot of practice for you to achieve Swasthya up to this point. Step by step. What must I mourn to be at peace? It will be a lot of time spent inside, uncomfortable with the mourning, maybe even suffering of all that you are losing inside. Emotionally allowing it to leave you. If you are challenged in a conflict, you should be prudent, wise, and embrace justice. If losing an argument has an impact on your revenue, on your lifestyle, on your security, you have to care for yourself as a responsible human. That is wise. So, in this sense, don't lose your own situation, your own integrity in life. However, emotionally and mentally speaking, lose that battle. Find justice in the facts, but lose the battle. When you need to be right about an argument, lose the argument. Please. It does not matter if it will change nothing in your life or very little. You will not reach self-realization if you don't bring this Swasthya principle very deep. I'll give you an example. When I divorced, the law said I had the right to 50% of the house. I paid the house almost entirely. 94.7% I paid the house. Because we are married, I had the right to 50% back. Some people might be aggressed that they paid the house entirely and only have a right back. What I did is give the house entirely to the ex-wife and my kids. I did not get anything back. I did not lose it. I wanted to give it. Because children, my children, I want them to never have insecurity about paying rent, of having a stressed mother, while I have a correct situation to have my cheap apartment and travel the world half the time when there is no pandemic. So I gave everything. I took my PlayStation, my computer, and my clothing. Oh, she insisted I take the bed that we bought for the health of my back. Everything else, not a single utensil, I gave it. If greed is your motivation, there is no swasthya. If you say, this is my right, I want it, that's not swasthya. What do you need to be at peace? What must I lose to preserve the harmony? Swasthya. At one point, it will transcend human logic. Well, you will lose and you will mourn more than the average human, because the average human is motivated by what he can obtain. The objects, the finance, the love, the relationships, the image. But what will they think of me? if you allow yourself to lose a battle? What will they think of you if you are a kind person and act with charity and forgiveness, caring for yourself in your minimal integrity, but kind and forgiving and compassionate, transcending your animal passions to remain virtuous? What will they think of you? They will think you are awesome. Then you will think you are a marvelous person. Because instead of always wanting for yourself, you'll be thinking, what I really need is peace. What must I lose to find that peace? And your limit is just personal integrity. You have to be able to live, eat, dress yourself, have shelter, the basics. You know, Maslow's pyramid. My pyramid of Maslow is the same as anyone else with additions, okay? Shelter, eat, clothing, video games, very important. Survival. There's always this little extra exception. Some of you, in your liberation from everything, will not let go of a single little thing. For me, it's video games, but it affects no one else than me. I realized I was not addicted to video games when I spent a few weeks without it, and I did not miss it. But now that I have them again at home, I still think I don't want to lose that. But the moment I was without it, Swasthya, what must I lose? So first, Swasthya is just a meditation. To be conscious that you're conscious. Be conscious that you're conscious until it's a feeling inside here, more than just a thinking in your head. It is a focus in your head. I'm conscious that I'm conscious. I'm paying attention inside. But it becomes a feeling. And then it expands. That's the start. And then responsibility. Take care of my integrity, my human responsibility, pay bills and be careful. Then you push Swasthya to virtuous actions. And then it's a contemplation. When I am not at peace, I am the one being affected. When I am not at peace, sometimes I'm severely aggravated. Sometimes I'm losing my mind with anger. Sometimes, a little dent. I don't like it, but it's okay. All of this is various levels of losing peace. When I am not at peace, what must I lose? And then you'll see your greed. Oh, I'm not going to lose that argument. But it changes nothing in your life. Okay, do I need to be right that much? Because my pride will be broken? Maybe I should lose my pride. And then you go inside and you stay hurt. It's okay. My pride is broken. So I can find peace. After a painful personal growth, a deep embracing Visantara. Visantara is the method, Swasthya is the state of being. You'll practice Visantara. It's a technique to go and do that, this letting go and the suffering inside. Swasthya is the containment, loose, let go. And rejoice every time you obtain, every time you're offered something and you enjoy it. Rejoice. This is the beauty of Swasthya. Now let's talk about the other part of Swasthya. Swasthya means responsibility, means the preserving of peace inside. But it also means, Swasthya, to be with yourself. It also means emancipation. Oh, this part of Swasthya is spectacular. If you believe in God, God made everything to be experienced, discovered, embraced. If you don't believe in God, then it doesn't matter. Enjoy the ride as much as you can. Once you are at peace, how can you trip so much in the grace of the universe, in the little moments, in the sweet taste of the chocolate, of that beer, of whatever you want, as long as it does not make you lose peace. If you get severely drunk, can you honestly call that peace? No. If you become in love, it is wonderful. Emancipate. But if you become in a battle, if you keep arguing, if it becomes aggressive or so much abandonment while you're in a relationship, is that peace? The beauty of Swasthya is the maximum emancipation while having more peace than emancipation. Not even equal. More peace than emancipation. We would say in Swasthya, you do a contradictory practice of emancipation, which is to get the maximum joy of the minimum stimuli, to get the smallest little thing and rejoice of just that. So there's always more peace than infatuation in your emancipation. So Swasthya is not only about losing and mourning. It's not about the emptiness by being bored of existing in this world. No. it is to enjoy everything inside and outside. Responsibility first, peace as the ultimate goal. And joy, it is a balance of the extremes. And like the Buddha Sakyamuni explained, the wisest path is the middle path. Don't go into the extremes. Find peace in the balance. Sometimes you will want to live intense emotions. Please go ahead, do it. If it robs your peace, what must you lose? What must you mourn? But if you find peace and that joy, come on. Swasthya is not asceticism. Swasthya is not sacrifice. Swasthya is not imposed suffering. No. Swasthya is the profound concept of recuperating yourself until you achieve Buddhahood, so profoundly anchored that you will retain a sense of peace during trials. While there is pain, you are still conscious, focused, and suffering. It's pain. The last emotion of Sakyamuni Buddha was anger, seconds before he died. And there was suffering. If you think that in the Buddha state, everything is always just, I don't care, I'm indifferent, I'm a Buddha, that's not it. Sakyamuni said, his last phrase, if someone would ask me to stay and not die, I would supernaturally heal myself because it would be for someone else. No one asked him. They all listened to the wisdom and stayed, it's not for you. That's why you're so powerful. Wow, the Buddha's so powerful. And then he got pissed. You motherfucking idiots. He didn't say it, but he got like aggravated. Oh my God, it's incredible. And then we interpret, he was angry that no one actually asked. They were just, wow, this fucking wisdom is so beautiful. So he said, he was just angry. Peace. And he died. That was funny. So basically, if you think absorbed in Buddhahood is a constant state of peace, no. It is a mastery where peace is what is the most prevalent feeling or experience. And something can still throw you off balance, but you're quick at managing it and you stay focused. And on most things of life, you look like if nothing can affect you. When the Buddha achieved enlightenment, the Buddha Sakyamuni, he came out of meditation with this sense of truth. So he went to walk. I will tell everyone. Everyone should know that. He felt oneness. He felt the liberation of all suffering. I need for everyone to reach this. The first man he met on the street, he says, let me teach you liberation of suffering and oneness. And the guy said, fuck off. He just kept walking. And Sakyamuni was disappointed. He lost his sense of peace. The first thing that Sakyamuni experienced when he finally enlightened was the suffering of disappointment. The last thing that Sakyamuni experienced as a human, moments before allowing himself to die, was anger resulting from disappointment. If the Buddha Sakyamuni started and ended his entire path in a Buddha state with suffering, I hope it will redefine your illusions about what a Buddha is. What must I mourn to be complete again? Swasthya is a quest. It's an attitude. It starts with a simple meditation, patiently giving time for your mind to relax while you are conscious that you are conscious. And then allow that phenomena to happen. So you can practice feeling at peace and mourn of what is not peaceful. Lose, preserving your own integrity, of course, prudence, justice, caring for yourself, not losing to the other in a way that hurts you, but losing in a way that you will not be validated as an ego. Apply this until you can lose $100,000 for the well-being of your ex-family. Well, my children are still my family, of course. Do this until the flow of finances cannot rob you of your peace. When equity is not about how much money you can have, but how everyone can remain happy in a situation, regardless of what I believe I should have, or how much my greed is pulling from the outside. Me. Of course, you have to eat, you need shelter, and sometimes a hug. Video games, coffee in the morning, if you care, right? This profound quest, Swasthya, it's a trip in hell where you're looking forward to the trip. It's a liberation from so much weight on your heart, but it is also a celebration where you seek to emancipate yourself in every way possible as long as you're not causing suffering in the process, as long as you can afford it, as long as you can stay at peace with the result of your emancipation. And usually it means simplicity. Freedom is absolute. Go in this world and experience everything you wish, as long as virtue is your method. Enjoy. Well, in this case, going into the world to enjoy everything doesn't seem compatible with the pandemic. So, patience. Emancipation now requires patience, creativity, yeah, and respect the will of your government. That's wise. The joys of Swasthya. When you realize it means emancipation as much as self realization, responsibility, peace, freedom, based on compassion, kindness, good actions. What must I mourn? What must I lose? Physically, emotionally, mentally. Swasthya. For example, this is where I decided to give free access to the online classes to those who cannot afford it. The amount of viewers changes nothing for me. I'm asking those who can honestly give me a little every month. Please do so. And if you can give more, please give more. But instead of selling my classes $150 a month, like the majority of masters of my caliber are doing, I decided to be flexible. I don't need to become a millionaire. I need the wisdom to flow. I want you to have the wisdom. So you respect your current needs. Offer what you can. I'll be grateful. And this way, there's no karma if people study for free because they're not stealing something that I decided to offer. So there is no karma for that. That's another example of swasthya, of self-containment. What is the truth of equity in there? Should I ask like a businessman or a saint? I love you guys. Enjoy. I will stop the streaming now and open another immediately for a short period of questions.